do a little review of the FMS Lc80 Toyota Landcruiser. I think I got that right. Yeah, they got this model and some like a few different brands, but it's basically the same. They do have like Lexan body ones, but this is the hard body one with all the details and its license. It's actually says Toyota, you know. But yeah, so this is mine. I've made a few little mods to it. I'm trying to do as many mods I can do as cheaply as I can do them without having to like order special parts and whatnot. First off, it's a cool little platform, but the only issue I would say for it is it's its own scale thing, and there's nothing else really out there. There's not many things out there that are in the same scale. So as far as like companion models, there's only this. They have a Jeep version, and I think they're coming out with a FJ Cruiser, which that one looks cool. I think I want to get that one. But other than that, the electronics in it are pretty good. It has like light kit and all that stuff. Anybody who's looking this thing up, you've seen the videos. The light kit can be a kind of finicky. Like you may have to mess with it. Sometimes if you leave it plugged in and you charge the battery, you go play with it, the light kit's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So you got to unplug the battery, plug it back in. And then the radio, you have the channel 4 and your channel 3, and this controls the light kit. But I mean, you gotta mess with it. You're just basically flipping between the 3 selections and hitting this button. And also, a lot of people that have done like a lot of the bigger channels that have done reviews have, like, I guess they never read the menu, the manual, not the menu. This thing actually has a trainer mode that you can actuate by hitting the channel 4. There's a certain way you do it, but like when I first got it, I accidentally put it in that, and it was really, really, really slow. I mean, it's slow. And then I tried to go down the trail with it, and it's like slower than walking speed. So I was like, something's up with it. And it's like, I was just like, man, it's just that slow. It is a small model, it doesn't have to be super fast. But then I was messing with the lights, and I eventually got it to go into full speed. And it's still slow, but it's like walking speed. Like double the speed of trainer mode. But yeah, it's finicky to get through those menus. That's all I can say. Now, as far as mods go, so far, I've done some mods with some paint pens. These are the stock wheels that come with it. And I just took a gold and chrome paint pen and went to town on them, and it came out really good. The reason why I did that is because I really don't want to spend $30 on brass wheels. And instead I elected to get some like not soapbox derby, but the little freaking cars made out of wood. They have like tape with leaded weight on it. It hasn't come in yet, but I got that coming, and I'm actually going to cut out the circumference of the rim, mount it to the ring, put it back in there to have some weighted tires. Now, as it comes, in my opinion, this thing, at least for mine, it comes where the front is heavier than the back for sure, but it's still way too light. And then beyond all that, the way it has the suspension set up, okay, let's see if I can get some light up in here. So you have a 4-link suspension. Oh, I'll tell you about the weights in a little bit. This is actually fishing weight that I got mounted to the frame, just to weigh down the front, and I got some fishing weight up in the front bumper as well. But the front is a 4-link, the rear is a 4-link, but it has the servo for the steering mounted on the chassis. But beyond that, it has a panhard bar or track bar connected on the axle. When I got mine just mounted up in this like roll of, you know, just it's like scale accessories, like a part, you know. Man, I got my little guy. I made him out of DAS clay, and my girlfriend painted him. But I found on mine that on the passenger side, the articulation of the axle, it just wouldn't naturally articulate at all, because that track bar was binding up the whole suspension, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just there for looks. It doesn't help with any type of lateral anything, none of that. So I ended up taking it off, but it was still, the suspension was too, on this side, the shock was, because these are, you know, just, there's no oil in them. On one side, the shock was just way too stiff. On the other side, it was too soft. It's still kind of too soft. So what I ended up is using zip ties to make a spacer on this shock to give it a little bit more compression on the spring. And then I used a zip tie to actually stop the travel of this shock to make it a little softer. And now it's pretty equal. It still has kind of a bias to the driver's side, but it's articulating a lot better. Now, as far as the weights, I put the weights on there because, in my opinion, it didn't have enough weight to compress the suspension, especially in the front. The rear is super soft, you know. But also, like I said, I also went to town with the paint pins on the body, give it some kind of a gold trim. I know Mr. Clay guy, his hand fell off. We'll have to fix that eventually. But did the grill, added some scuff marks, a little bit of weathering. Yeah. Also, I did add grease to the shocks to kind of give them a little bit of dampening. It's not as bouncy as it was, but it's still pretty bouncy. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this truck. It's a fun little truck, especially if you're a truck driver like me, and you got some downtime and you got something you want to do a little bit of hobbying, some modeling, I mean, it's a sick truck. It's really, really well detailed. Turn on the lights for y'all real quick. Look, the hood opens. Turn it on. I mean, come on. I have the lights off, but if I turn on the radio, no. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Blinkers. Hazards with the headlights off. Yep. So yeah, this thing is pretty freaking fun. And that's my review of it. I'd get one. I mean, for $180, that's a great little RC.